The sin of the United States is so great that he's not going to mix an equal cup or an equal share of what her sins were like. He's going to repay her 2 times for those sins. 2 measures for every murder, 2 measures for every act of homosexuality, 2 measures for every abortion, 2 measures for every corrupt practice in leadership, 2 measures for every corrupt practice at the corner store where you're cheating people and overcharging them for every single service that they come in because you're open late at night and you know they're desperate, and so you're going to charge them 4 times more for whatever it is that they come in to get. 2 measures for every act of usury, 2 measures for every act of giving the country over to Zionists and Jews who are posing as the true people of Israel. 2 measures for every slave beaten and killed. 2 measures for every drop of American Indian blood. 2 measures mixed in the cup of Babylon. And he says, in the measure that she glorified herself and she lived luxuriously, by that same measure, give her torment and sorrows, because she says in her heart, I sit as a queen, and I am not a widow, and I will see no sorrow. Therefore, her plagues will come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she will be utterly burned with fire. So what you're looking at right now is not the beast government. You're looking at the managed dysfunction of the United States that will allow for the beast system to come in. The beast system is actually a very orderly system. It's so orderly that when you don't follow its orders, they're going to kill you. So it is not a random type of thing. What's happening now, the random typing of buttons, is basically so that the computer known as United States becomes glitchy and overloaded. And when it begins to break down, it's just going to split neatly like a coconut. And then you will see a very well ordered dystopian monitoring state. That is the beast system state coming out of it. And so God says America is a central figure in the end times, but not in a good way. America will be a prime example of a nation that forgets God. And what is going to happen to her will be a warning to all other nations to repent while they have time and to seek God as a corporate people with all their hearts. And so the scriptures the Lord gave me are scriptures that I was covering just a month ago in January. It's Isaiah 9, verses 12 to 13, and also Isaiah chapter 13. Isaiah chapter 13 is a very interesting chapter. It talks about the rise of the beast state. It talks about the complete destruction of the earth through all kinds of natural disasters and weather. It talks about how there's hardly going to be any people living at all. And I have prophecies in the past where I've went through the whole of Isaiah 13 explaining what it is. And so if I remember what those are, I'm going to put them in a comment. Usually it takes me a couple of days, and then I will pin a comment that contains prophecies linked to this one that you will find useful. And so I continue. The Lord said, for sin, for stubborn refusal to repent, I will bring sudden attack and destruction on the USA, and she will fall to her enemies. For stubborn refusal to repent, for multiplying of sins and clinging to iniquities, I will allow the destruction of this nation. These people are stubborn, and they refuse to acknowledge me. Instead, they multiply their sin, even in the face of my judgments. They do worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. For as Sodom and Gomorrah burned, they acknowledged their iniquity, and they cried out in remorse. But this nation, tell them I, the Lord, have said it. This nation will curse me to my face, even as she is destroyed to ashes. They are rebellious and hard-hearted. Therefore, I will not relent concerning the things I have spoken of her. She will be destroyed to her foundation. Babylon, the adulteress, shall go into destruction and be no more. Thus saith the Lord.